Well, let me just start off by saying how proud I was of our guys out there tonight. They played an extremely tough team in an extremely tough environment, and they never quit. They were playing hard. They stuck to our game plan. It really felt like they were adjusting to us all game long. But having said that, we did shoot ourselves in the foot by not making foul shots and turning the ball over a little too much. But all of that stuff notwithstanding, we were right there toward the end of the game. And, a couple of bounces here and there, and things could be different. But I'm really proud of our team. I was really happy with our student section and our overall crowd. And, those guys in the locker room have nothing to be they should not be disappointed, because they played a great team and they played very well. So with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Coach, you guys shot 73% from the free throw line first half and 35 second half. Is that just fatigue? Is that the physicality of the game taking over? What happened?
I doubt if it's fatigue. I think it's it's just not making foul shots. I mean, I wouldn't say it's anything other than, those are big foul shots, and they were missing them too. So, if we make ours, it probably means a lot. But you can't beat a team that's that good, that's that highly ranked, without doing most of the things right. You can get away with making some mistakes, but you can't make too many mistakes against a team like that. They're just too good.
You said that the team shouldn't be disappointed, have nothing to hang their head about, but the fact that you got in your own way, shot yourself in the own foot, does that make it tougher to swallow?
It does. It's tough to swallow any losses. I mean, I don't want to send the wrong message, but I like the way we battled. I like the way we played. I like the way we executed. We fought hard. I thought that it was very adverse conditions in our own gym, and our guys played extremely hard.
Roberto was talking about how, despite the loss, there's no moral victory. That this is kind of upbeat, moving forward, a little momentum, pushing Arizona to the wire. Looking forward to the senior night in Arizona State.
Yeah. I mean, we still have something to play for. I mean, we want to play in the postseason. So the more games we win, the better we are. And we're these last two games are against very high RPI guys, and so you can't be too bummed about it, because there's still more to come. I mean, Arizona State's got a very high RPI. It's another opportunity for us. And then we've got the tournament where we're going to be playing against guys who have high RPI. So, I think Roberto is absolutely right. There's no moral victories, but we can't hang our heads for too long about these last two games.
We know how much Roberto hates missing free throws. How do you think he's going to bounce back from kind of missing those critical ones?
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to bounce back. I mean, it's so uncharacteristic. I'm sure he's disappointed, but he made some plays there that kept us in the game too. So you can't just look at one thing in a vacuum. And I'm hoping that him being a senior and been around the game, he knows how to bounce back from something like that.
Craig, there were some questionable whistles. The one to Eric comes to mind.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the way your team played through that and the whistles?
Just absolutely loved the way we fought through the officiating. It was great. It was great to see, that I think our coaching staff lost their cool more than the players did. So that's a good thing, because those are the guys who are out there executing. And like I said, there was extremely adverse conditions in Gill for us to with 5 minutes to go, be tied with those guys. And, really proud of our guys.
It seemed like you guys were really feeding off the crowd much of that game. Is that what
Yeah.
makes sense?
Oh, yeah. It was a wonderful crowd. That's why. I mean, they were loud. They were right on time on a lot of things. And I think the crowd was feeding off of our guys' play, too. So it's a joint venture, that whole thing. And, I'm just hoping that our crowd realizes that we have a good product out there that we're trying to give to them. And between the both of us, we're going to be good going forward.
Your team got to that 5-minute mark, as you mentioned. with a tie ball game and it's still tied under 4 as well. I mean, it's hard to look at it as a positive.
Yeah,
Is that a positive?
I haven't used the term kissing your sister in a couple of years, but that's what it's like. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's just not. It's bittersweet. It just, we want to be past that. We want to beat a top 5 team when we're that close toward the end. And I thought our guys did everything they needed to do. I mean, we turned the ball over there, but we had to try and force some of the action the way the game was going and the way the tempo of the game. We were thinking, since it was such a physical game, we might be able to get to the line again.
Getting back to officiating, did you feel like they had too much of an impact on the game?
Unfortunately, I'd love to give you my take on it, but, I was just told yesterday that fines are going to be laid out for talking about officiating. But you're more than welcome to give your answer, and then I'll choose to either agree or not to agree. But again, I'll just say that I thought our guys played really well given the conditions.
It seemed like this game kind of came down just to a couple mistakes at the end. Is that how you felt?
Yeah, and I don't want to make too big of a deal about it because we forced them into mistakes too. So that stuff usually can even out, and then then you have your opportunities that you have full control over, like your foul shots and like unforced errors. And if you shore that stuff up, typically you usually win. But you can afford some self-inflicted wounds, but not against these really good teams. I mean, UCLA's ranked, Arizona's ranked, Arizona State is a highly rated team. You just can't have too many of those, and we had too many.
I feel like I've asked this question before, but when it's kind of the same issue with the turnovers, is it get kind of frustrating when it's the same thing?
It would if we weren't trying to be aggressive. I thought we were doing enough to keep that game close, and there were some extenuating circumstances that were probably more a factor than the turnovers, and might have led to some of the turnovers. I mean, you got to look at the physicality of the game, and if we turn the ball over after being bumped and we didn't get any, you don't get rewarded for that, it's going to be a turnover. So I haven't watched the tape yet though, so I wanna reserve judgment.
Sorry, Craig. In moving on from this for Saturday, do you tell them to take whatever anger, pissed off about this game, and take it out on ASU because that's a team that beat you in overtime?
Yeah. What I found with this team is that I won't need to tell them. They're probably ready right now. I mean, they were really disappointed. But yeah, that we use whatever motivation we can, and I just want them. I want them to be confident. I think confidence, along with disappointment, leads to a good outcome. Because that's how we came into this game after the UCLA game. And I thought after that first run when they got up, what was it, 9-0 or 11-0, and then we came back. I think that was a perfect example of having the kind of confidence to know that you can be in this game, because that team ran away from us the last time when we played them at their place, and they've run away from a lot of teams since then.
With the turnovers, Devon said that's been a theme. If you go back to the past few games, do you see a common thread in those turnovers? Because it seems you can get away with some turnovers, but you're having some at some pretty crucial points.
Yeah. I think that it's more of we have guys who are just trying to be aggressive and make plays. That's all. I don't think they're malicious, and I don't think that they are. They're ill. I think that the plays that we're trying to make could easily go the other way. So I'm willing to take the risk reward. So I'll take the blame for that.
There's obviously a handful of games that could have gone another losses that you guys have incurred that could have gone the other way. That had happened, you guys would actually probably be near the top of the conference.
Yeah, it's pretty funny that way. Yeah.
Is that kind of part of the learning experience, you think? Just
Yeah, I think this group is past that learning experience. They know that we should have more wins if we took care of the ball a little bit more and didn't make these types of mistakes. But we can't dwell on it. What we have to do is now we got to start winning here. We're at the last last conference game of the season, and then we've got a tournament where anything's possible. And depending on who we're playing, I like our chances. I mean, against anybody in the tournament this year.
Roberto said he'd like to play Arizona again right now, because I asked him if he wanted to see him again in the tournament. So is that kind of the attitude you guys are going to take? Because you feel like you've had so many of those games that you should have won that you maybe
Well,
know some teams won?
I think that the attitude we're going to take is that we have proven to ourselves that we can beat or we can play with any team in the country. Because, I mean, this was a top 5 team. We played a top 25 team the other night, right down to the wire. And those are definite indicators that when we're playing well, when we're playing the way we're capable of playing, we got a pretty good team. But can't do it for 36 minutes and not do it for the last 4 minutes. Can't do it for 37 minutes and not do it for the last 3 minutes.